The boat leaves tomorrow at 9. You ain't packing nothing?
But Mama, I don't want to go.
Young Claudia and her parents arrived in New York after a long boat ride. They struggled to find work, and thus they lived in a poor area, and 4 years later, a tragic incident struck the family.
Your spirit will continue to live on inside you. Make her proud.
Yes, Papa.
A few years passed, and Claudia always remembered the words her dad told her. However, she knew that her family was struggling, and she felt as if she had no other choice but to provide for her family.
Hey, how was it?
It was so good, Grandma.
It's really good. What happened? You always have things to say?
Nah, I just wonder where this whole Nottingham Carnival thing come from.
Okay, listen up. There's a story to tell you. One woman named Claudia Jones.
The boat leaves tomorrow at 9. You ain't packing nothing?
But Mama, I don't want to go.
Young Claudia and her parents arrived in New York after a long boat ride. They struggled to find work, and thus they lived in a poor area, and 4 years later, a tragic incident struck the family.
Your spirit will continue to live on inside you. Make her proud.
Yes, Papa.
A few years passed, and Claudia always remembered the words her dad told her. However, she knew that her family was struggling, and she felt as if she had no other choice but to provide for her family. So she dropped out of school to work in a factory. She found political education in social activism. At age 18, she joined the Young Communist League, which led her to be involved in an international movement to defend the Scottsboro Boys. These 9 African American men faced execution of charges of raping a white woman. She wrote on behalf of them as their legal defense as a journalist for Weekly Review YCL. Her involvement in the case led to her involvement with the youth wing of Communist Party USA, also known as CPUSA, which she became a member in 1936. She fought for the rights of Black people with her entire being. She spoke at several Communist parties, conferences, and rallies.
Imperialism is the root of racism. It is the ideology which upholds colonial rule and exploitation. It is the ideology which breeds fascism, rightly condemned by the civilized people of the world.
Claudia fell ill with tuberculosis, but fought through, and her strong words and persistence caused her to catch the eye of the FBI. Arrested again under the Smith Act trials, which the prosecution suspected communist leaders, suffered her first heart attack at 36 years. Claudia was sent to federal prison where, due to being refused as a U.S. citizen, she had to be deported. She was refused entry by the Trinidad and Tobago colonial governor, Hubert Rance, who claimed that she may have been proven to be troublesome. Hence, she was sent to the United Kingdom.
All I wanted was to change the world's thinking, to change the picture in which people see the color of my skin. Lord, help my unbelief.
Claudia was disappointed by the racist hostility, and she quickly realized the UK was the furthest thing from paradise for Black people.
People without a voice were lambs to the slaughter. I'm going to set up a newspaper that provides Caribbean people with the Black liberation that they seek. I will call it the West Indian Gazette.
And in Brixton, 1958, she accomplished her aspirations with very little funding. However, this was not enough. The Teddy Boys era began. A gang of disaffected whites traveled to Black neighborhoods in Britain to partake in nigger shooting. Black people were mercilessly killed for amusement. The racial killing of Kelsey Cochran, a young Black carpenter who was brutally stabbed by a gang of white youth, was seen as the peak of it all. The Black people had reached their tolerance limit.
My people aren't happy. They are mourning the loss of their brothers. What can I do to help? How can I reunite Britain?
She began engaging intensely with the Afro-Caribbean community, campaigning for equal access to basic services like housing and education. She openly denounced the racism in the workplace and lobbied against Britain's 1876 Racist Immigration Act.
We have been closely observing the situation with our fellow Caribbean brothers and sisters, and we feel like there's a need for change. A change for the better, a change for equality. What can we do to enforce that change?
There should be a carnival for the West Indian community to serve as a solution.
Do you think it would work?
A people's art is the genesis of their freedom.
We are with you.
Sadly, she passed away due to a severe heart attack on December 24, 1964. She was found in her flat on Christmas Day. This was a very sad moment for the Black community in Britain and all around the world.
Claudia Jones' place in history is well defined and well earned.
Let us never forget the incredible contributions of Claudia Jones to Black liberation movements worldwide, in the past, present, and those of the future.
Our mother of the Caribbean Carnival will be missed.
She was buried on January 9, 1965 at Highgate Cemetery, right next to Karl Marx.
Claudia Jones' legacy is a testament to how influential she was as a Black feminist, political theoretician, and as a leader. The UK National Union holds an annual Claudia Jones Memorial Lecture every year during Black History Month to respect her groundbreaking work. The 1982 Claudia Jones organization empowers and provides a voice to women and those families of Afro-Caribbean heritage, a cause very close to Claudia's heart. So now, Noah, do you now understand the importance of Notting Hill Carnival?
Yeah, she's a very special person. Well, I like Carnival even more now. May her legacy live on.
All in the stadium, the whole of the kingdom come down. Time to and show me your ways. Time to get out of line. You're born and ready for pace. Come and wind in the roadway. All in front of the gate.